Alright, let's hope I don't crash this time. Greetings, Internet. My name is Chris, and this is Medieval Engineers. It's, what I'm playing here is actually a bit earlier release than the intended release, which is February 18th or 19th. But you can see I messed around with it a little bit. I've made 2 catapults. Why I made 2, I'll explain just in a second. I also made a trebuchet. As you can see, it's early access, but as you can see, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's the same engine as used in Space Engineers. There's another catapult there. A few issues, of course. I mean, it's bound to be when it's early access like this, early alpha, whatever it is. Beta maybe, I don't know. But you can see this clipping, for example. But like, I've made this cool structure here. And what I really like about this game is that you have to think about structural integrity. Now you can't disable this, but it wouldn't be fun without it. And basically, structural integrity means that everything you build could actually stand upright in reality. So you can see, for some reason you can't get through doors every time, you have to crouch. But as you can see here, I've made walls to these buildings here. And if I didn't make any interior walls, it would all just crumble down on top of itself. See, these are just intended to be separate rooms, for example. Down here you could have like a dining hall, maybe food storage down here. Basically, this is just a test building. It's completely empty because you don't have anything in the game to actually fill the rooms with. There are no chairs and stuff like that. I expect there might be in the future, or that people will mod them in. Already I've seen a few mods here. See, this is another thing that also annoys me a little bit. Like, it's pretty difficult to get up the stairs when you have this wooden floor. Anyway, let's get outside again here. So I've been working on catapults and trebuchets because I'm really into sort of medieval warfare, if you can call it that. So you can see I have 2 catapults here. Let me see which one is the new one. Alright, this is the new one. So the difference between the 2 is the fact that this one can actually roll on its wheels, whereas this one is completely static. And you can see I can't move it. The difference is that when you build stuff, see, this is your normal building mode. If I were to place this, actually let me do a wheel instead. If I were to place this wheel right now, I wouldn't be able to knock it over because it's completely static and locked to the ground. That's basically what's happened with this thing here. It's a little bit turned sideways because I copy and pasted it a few times. But if I press J, you can see, oh, all of a sudden this is sort of not locking into the grid. So J like sort of unlocks it. So if I place this down, this is no longer a static object, it's more of a dynamic object. See, I can push it here. Oh shit, I just destroyed the ground. Not even sure how that happened. It's kind of strange. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. I didn't discover this until I had built this thing here. Anyway, so this catapult I've built is supposed to be a replica of the one used in the trailer, as you might have seen. So basically, you press T to interact with objects. T. So basically, I sort of attach these 2 things together. Now, one thing you'll notice, actually I'll fire it out without a projectile the first time. So one thing you'll notice, I gotta use the other, is that it won't actually work. So that fires it. Cool, that looks really good. Like, it looks really nice when you fire it. But look what happens when I actually put a projectile in it. And this is a problem I've been having for a while. Now the big projectile won't actually fit in it. Like, I have to press J again. Or it will fit, but it doesn't look very nice. So what you can do to switch between objects, you can see this object has a plus sign next to it, which means that if I scroll my wheel, it actually changes what it is. You can do this with blocks as well. So I'll place this down here, make sure it's dynamic. There we go. Now what will happen when I fire this is that the head will break off for whatever reason, like as though this object weighs a lot more than it actually does. You can see it just breaks. And this has happened to me every single time. It'll happen with this one as well, even though all of it is static except this stuff here. So it's really frustrating, gotta say, because like not only does things take quite a while to build in this game here, but then have them turn out to not work is quite disappointing. I'm hoping they'll fix this somewhat soon. But as I said, this is quite early, so the fact that I can even build this is really nice. I wonder what would happen if I were to push this around. Oh yeah, this is the static one. Right. Hey, let me push the static one. That won't work. So if I fire this, boom, breaks again. Let us try the Trebuchet, because the Trebuchet looks quite nice. Like, I'm not sure how I would attach these two without flying mode. Like, you'd have to build like a staircase or something. So basically, you attach this to the winch down here. It's kind of skewed because it wouldn't actually. I wouldn't actually be able to do this if it wasn't skewed, because this block is like, I think it's 4 wide maybe, and this up here is like 7. So it doesn't really. Yeah. It had to be uneven in the wideness or whatever you call it. Anyway, so let's place the. Let's do it without projectile again, just so you can see it without breaking, because this thing will also break. It's quite annoying. So what you do, it goes quite nuts right here. So what you do, you take this end, attach it to like a cannonball, whatever you want to call them, these stone balls, and then release it, and then boom, watch it swing. Now the thing that happens is, in the trailer it shows it just releasing by itself. This thing here won't actually release the rope, so it'll just swing it around and hammer into itself. It's quite disappointing. I was sort of hoping to see some cool stuff. Now I tried to make the frame as well, because there's a frame they use in the trailer where you can sort of place it in the middle and then push it, and that sort of decides which way it will go, because that'll put like a twist on it, sort of. But that didn't work either. Like it wouldn't fit into this here, as though these blocks had a bigger hitbox than they actually do. So that was also kind of annoying. I think I've spent an hour, maybe 2 hours on this trebuchet here just today, and then I made the catapults yesterday, as well as the mansion. I spent like 6 hours on it. You can see this thing is dynamic as well, so I could actually push it. Alright, so let's pull this down here. The ball is a little bit skewed, but I'll be alright, I think. So pull it down. Let's just pretend we're aiming for the tower, even though we won't even hit it. Alright, so it's gonna go a little bit nuts. So this thing here, I've tried to make it exactly what it looks like, but there's some things that are a little bit different. I think my box here is a little bit bigger. This thing here is different as well. But yeah, you can also use these weights here. I tried messing around with it, but it makes it too heavy, I think, so it goes completely nuts when it's firing. And more often than not, it will just break itself. Alright, so let's release it here. See, this is one thing that's annoying as well. Like, if I have to get that thing to be able to interact it, I have to aim at a very specific point. Alright, so it'll go, but it won't release it. Like, maybe I'll have to release it myself, but that still kind of bothers me a little bit. Because I was hoping like it would be maybe something where you could set the strength of the rope to a certain point. Let's actually try attaching some weights to this here. So hollow out the sides just as they did in the video. I'm thinking what it might be is that they used a different build or something like that, where before they maybe change some stuff, because that could very well be the reason why my stuff is not working and theirs is. Or maybe they just disable structural integrity, I don't know. I'll have to try that out, try using one of the catapults without having structural integrity on. I could maybe put that in the end. Ooh, it's a little bit too much. Like, you want to be careful with this winch as well, so you have one on the opposite side to release a little bit. So it does go completely crap. Crap sack. Alright, so let's try firing it again. Oh, that's weird. Yeah. Oh. For fuck's sake! Alright, so the game just crashed again. It's been doing this a lot. It's pretty much whenever I actually test fire stuff, that just crashes. It's pretty annoying. I didn't disable structural integrity for this thing. I'll do that at the end, so you can see the catapult. I must say, even though the game has been crashing quite a lot for me, whenever I've been testing these things out, it's really solid already. Like, definitely on par with Space Engineers. The one big problem I had with Space Engineers was the fact that I wanted to build really big things, but the game sort of limited you to a specific size, because if it got too big, it would basically just slow down the game immensely. Ooh, David Blaine hovering. Oh yeah, fucking magician. Alright, so what I want to show you here is the structural integrity playing a massive part in this. So I've tried firing a little bit of this building here. It's a little bit strange, I must say. I'm using, let's see where we got these character tools. So these are just projectiles you throw. So the longer you hold down your mouse button, the faster it will basically go. You have a big and a medium. So you can see, obviously, if I want to break a building, I want to aim for the supporting pillars, or whatever you call them, like the cornerstones. I have, actually in the back, I have made the cornerstone quite big on both corners. Don't know if you can see it here, but it's like, it's a lot denser, just because I'm thinking that this room here would be quite easy to break through. You can see it already is. There's almost nothing holding it apart, or holding it together, I mean. So, like, I wanted to have... Oh, that's weird. I wanted to have some strong cornerstones at least in my buildings. But you can see here, the more I break, the more will actually crumble down. Now, I think these wooden boards are a little bit too strong at the moment, because usually I don't think a building would be able to support this just by having this sort of connection. Like, you can see it doesn't look very solid. That's weird. Okay, so every time I aim downwards and something like this, yeah, I hit myself. I don't understand it. So you can see we've broken this. It's technically floating right now. So that's kind of weird. I'm not sure why it's floating. Usually, yeah, I don't know. Usually it tends to fall apart. It's like you have some kind of connection to certain things that are that it isn't actually connected to. But yeah, you could just see, you can... I wish I could stop hitting myself. That'd be nice. But you could just see, like, it looks really nice, the destruction here, but I think it's still in kind of development. Something I'll also show you here, the tower. Our tower falls apart like really nicely. It looks really good when it falls down. But you will see it maybe slowing down a little bit, because it's calculating all the destruction. Like, sometimes it'll stop, just think. Like here, it just froze the piece, even though it's technically still moving. It's similar to how Space Engineers was. I don't know if it's still like that, because I haven't played the game in a year, I think. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you that, as well as the catapults. I mean, it's kind of disappointing that it wasn't working, because I would want to just shoot the shit out of these things with catapults and trebuchets. You can see this. This over here is actually the castle from from the trailer. Now I've noticed that they've taken out the banners and the flag for some reason. Like there was in the trailer, there's a banner hanging here, there's a banner over here and a flag on top. But they do have this nice bridge. It's not like the one in the actual trailer, because the one in the trailer was completely filled in like this. I wonder if that will maybe break it or if it's too heavy. We'll see. And the interesting thing is, like, they're actually using 2 winches here. So I think this one, is that the right one? That's the wrong one. That looks weird. Like, I know one of these is supposed to pull it up. Maybe it is too heavy. Oh well. Just shoot the shit out of this. See if I can try not hitting myself. Oh, nope. Oh dear. Alright, so... last thing I just want to show you is trying out the catapult without structural integrity on. I haven't tried this actually, so it might work. Because I'm sort of thinking that they were using that for the demos or whatever, or the trailer. So I won't save this. Nope, don't want to save it, because I'd be kind of dismayed if all this stuff I've been building on just suddenly was saved as destroyed. Oh yeah, just call it mansion, because it sort of looks like a mansion, doesn't it? A little bit of a fortified mansion. But it'd be kind of nice. Like, I think games like Space Engineers and Medieval Engineers have these sort of very interesting things for fans to really enjoy. Like, obviously there's a huge role-playing aspect to Space Engineers, and I'm kind of oh fuck, I forgot to do that thing. I'm kind of thinking that they'll go along the same lines with this game. Like, you have all these things where it's like, sure, you could do this way more efficiently. Like, you could easily fly up to the top of the building, but it's, fuck, I did it again. Are you kidding me? But it's much easier just flying up to the top of the building. But like, if you're doing that roleplay aspect, there you can see the banner and the flag, by the way. If you're doing that role-playing aspect, like you take the stairs, of course, and all those sort of things, where it's like, oh, they'll probably introduce survival in some fashion as well. And I'm thinking like it'll be, oh, you need to sleep and all these things, which sort of helps with role-playing if you're into that. So just gonna take structural integrity off, and I think that should maybe do it. I'm not sure, it might actually break the save, because when I switch it back on, like if it's doing all the calculations at once, ooh, I don't even want to think about that. Alright, so let's try this out. We're gonna use the projectile here. I've been going on for a little bit. Alright, so let's pretend we're aiming for yeah, that sort of looks right. So structural integrity off should mean that things can actually get destroyed. Sort of hoping. Now this animation here as well, it looks kind of weird. This. And if you're hitting it multiple times, it looks like you're shagging the air. Alright, so let's put this projectile in here. There we go. Let's see if that actually works. Oh, interesting. So even though I switched structural integrity off, it still didn't get destroyed. Alright, so I'm thinking that maybe structural integrity just means that you can build weird things like these, maybe. Like things that aren't actually possible. It's like if we build this massive weight up here, that it won't actually crumble. Like, if I did this with structural integrity on, this would just collapse. Yeah, okay. Oh, it's kind of a shame it didn't do that with the objects though. I was kind of hoping that maybe it would. Let's just try with this one just to just to see. Oh, strange. These wheels seem to be moving. Oh, it's a little bit too much, I think. Okay. I kind of like the game though. Like it's really nice. I'm looking forward to trying out a bunch of new stuff. I'm just hoping they'll fix this, because this is really annoying me. Can I move this? Oh, okay, it just disappeared for some reason. And I think this might, it's bugged out. So something it'll do when it breaks the head, and you try to do something with it. Like, if I remove this, for example, and place another one, I think it'll bug out. Because it has a tendency of doing that. Yeah, look, it'll just go through the ground and... oh well. Anyway, I'll probably post some more stuff when they fix this. Because I'd love to maybe do some tutorials on... What the... Okay, just completely destroyed itself. And this thing's just going nuts. But yeah, I'd love to show some tutorials on how to make trebuchets and catapults. I mean, I could make a tutorial, but it's really pointless when it doesn't actually work. It's like, oh hey, look, let me show you how to make this this object that doesn't actually work. But I'm really liking it though, because it's just cool that I can actually replicate the stuff they showed in the trailer. It's like I can push this from behind if I want to. I can sort of use the sides, like, let's say I want to turn it. Like, I can just push it. So, yeah, I kind of like that aspect of it. It's just annoying that it doesn't work. But, like, imagine that people were attacking your mansion. You could just push this around and manually aim it. I kind of like the idea of doing that. That's sort of what I liked about Space Engineers as well, because it has this really cool side to it that's like, oh, you really want to do all these things in multiplayer. The thing is, I don't ever have anyone to play Space Engineers with. And it's like, you don't want to go on a public server, and then, well, not a public server, but someone else's server, and then spend like 2 hours building something and just have someone just blow it up with a warhead. It's kind of the same thing with this, like, oh. This is going completely nuts right now. Alright, I'm switching Structural Integrity back on after this, that's for sure. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked it. As I said, I will probably do something more in this game in the future once they fix this. I'll also try making some other medieval stuff. Like, I'd love to try and make like a ram. That'd be really nice. I'm sort of hoping they will introduce doors in some kind of way. Or maybe I'll have to make my own doors. I have to think about that. But yeah, I foresee many great things about this game. Like, it's already really, really fun and interesting to play. And it's good to zone out too, that's for sure. Anyway, thanks for watching. I've said that already, but I'm saying it again. See you next time. Or whatever. How do I shut this?